I've ticked that off, I've been selected, but now it's like, right, how do we get there and actually compete, not just get there and just turn up, because I don't want to turn up and be satisfied with just standing on the start line. I need to turn up and like actually have a proper go and really compete against the best guys in Europe, which at the moment, that's what I'm training for. Windy. We started a little later than the build to Seville, and my legs are already feeling it, to be fair. But I remember in the Seville block, me and Charlie were just speaking actually about this, that the first 4 weeks were way harder than the rest. So I'm hoping that like right now, it's nothing but hard work. The body gets used to it, things start to settle. But yeah, at the moment, feeling pretty good, mate. I've always wanted to be a distance runner. I think distance has always been sort of where I was going in terms of the trajectory as me as an athlete. Throughout my younger years as a junior, everybody always said to me like the way that you're going is always towards the 26.2 mile race. And to be honest, like I always kind of believed that as well. I always wanted to run the furthest I could as a young age. As soon as I knew I could run a 5k, when my age allowed me to, I stepped up. Same again for the 10k. I always wanted to step up, and I find myself now at the marathon. I think if you look at kind of the way that my career's gone in terms of the coaches that I had, like I went to Mick Woods when I joined St Mary's back in 2015. That sort of training and philosophy always worked for me, being better over the longer distances. And then obviously I moved into the professional setup with Macau and under the guidance of Andy. And I think we always had the conversation with the vision of we're going to end up being a marathon runner. We always had other goals in mind en route, you know, which we've managed to attain in terms of like the 5k on the track. The 10k on the track at Sound last year was an incredible moment, but I did still kind of feel that was towards my latter stages of my track career, if you like. So now we've moved up to the marathon. We've made a great step forward in the debut in 2:10, but we've got bigger goals to kind of chase, and Birmingham being one of those. That is bloody delightful.
What is it?
Like, it's a stupendous bit of kit. It's the Morton Edition apple flavour mixed into a Morton 320 drink mix. Carbs have never tasted so good. Right, I was actually joking the other day when I said breakfast, lunch and dinner has come in the form of Morton. That is game changing, mate. You want a sip? Want a swig on that?
No.
Oh, mate. I'm going to have no problems getting down 120 grams of carbs an hour. Don't worry about that. Wow. That's fantastic. I'm going to go to the left. I kind of look back at Seville as like a very successful debut. I remember crossing the line in my head and thinking there's no way I can get through one of those again. It was grueling, and you know, everybody had warned me like the marathon is a different beast, and it truly is. But I think now I've been able to process it all and kind of look back, and I guess just kind of like, yeah, we've been able to just kind of go through everything. You can look back at a lot more with like a marathon build in comparison to sort of track races like a 5k or 10k, and just really dive into what you did that you think went well, or things that you think you could maybe work on. And I think we've found loads of things, you know, from just the build itself in terms of the training, the nutrition was a massive part. I think science plays a bigger part in my life, or like my career now. I'm sort of a marathon runner, and I'm obviously looking forward to moving forwards with it, because with the marathon you can't really experience the feeling of the marathon without actually doing one. So like that's sort of like 5, 6, 7k of the race. I never experienced anything like that in terms of the feeling within myself until I did the race. So yeah, it was a different beast, but I'm like excited for that challenge to come round again. We're gonna do 2 sets of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minutes off 60 seconds recovery. Just sort of rolling from marathon pace down to half marathon pace. It's been a pretty tough week, like pretty good quality throughout, to be fair, in terms of like all my running. all been kind of steady around like 6 flats, so feeling a little bit tired today, especially off the back of last weekend as well in Manchester. So yeah, we'll just get the legs ticking over. A bit concerned what the weather's going to do to me. It's either going to be heavy wind, which we've got right now, or it might absolutely chunk it down, which wouldn't surprise me because it's been like that the past few days. Yeah, get rolling. Obviously the intentions were always to make the European champs. Look, it's a home champs, it's in my home city, in Birmingham. It was, you know, me stepping up to the marathon, wanting to be competitive on a championship, especially like a major stage moving forwards. It was always a goal of ours, so to do that we had to run fast, but we wanted to find a marathon that was going to work well in terms of I could have the opportunity to A, run fast, but B, also recover off the back of it and sort of prepare for those championships, because we felt like London was a little bit too close to run hard, run the time, and then recover to go again, especially with it being first experience. And I learnt firsthand, you know, how long it took me to recover off that debut in Seville. Obviously, the challenge of Europeans is going to be completely different to Seville. Seville was a time trial. We went out with the intention of running the standard, which was 2:09:30. We just missed out. We ran 2:10:07, 08, 09, something like that. But we still managed to get selected basically through rankings. So I had enough points where my marathon performance was good enough, and my half marathon performance, which I had to go out and do in Istanbul, also was good enough to put my name at the table. I felt like I always had the ability to be picked, being only sort of like 35 seconds off the actual standard. And obviously, fortunately for me, I did end up getting picked. The good news is 450 feels really comfortable.
That is good.
The bad news is it is quite windy.
And we are on the first rep.
We are. We have only just got started. 451. Have a word with him! Get on the back of it. Get away with it! Get on the back of it. Can't believe it. That was the A goal, is let's get selected for that championships, and we put so much into it. You know, I sacrificed my whole summer not going to sort of European cross, or not having a go at that, you know, missing out on other opportunities in terms of other half marathons that I could have done, to fully prepare for my first marathon, which would then hopefully give me the opportunity to represent Great Britain at European champs. I never made a major championships team before, and you know, getting that call to say that I've been selected was, you know, a massive privilege, and it will be a privilege to kind of stand on the start line in home city with it being a home champs. Is a massive deal. Like, the support's going to be incredible. So yeah, for me it means a lot. And now I've ticked off that A goal of like making the team. As an athlete, especially for me, I always have to be kind of driving towards something else. So once I tick off a goal, I'm like, right, what next? So I've ticked that off, I've been selected, but now it's like, right, how do we get there and actually compete? Not just get there and just turn up, because I don't want to turn up and be satisfied with just standing on the start line. I need to turn up and like actually have a proper go and really compete against the best guys in Europe, which at the moment, that's what I'm training for. Drop the pace back now to like marathon pace, because that was pretty quick but pretty good. I feel really strong at the moment, actually. I'm really strong. Things are starting to click. I think we've got from Manchester 10k literally what we needed. The little click to be like, you know what, mate, come on. Now we've got a kick on, we've got a marathon to do. Bit of a speed chop running the shorter distance, and I feel good for it. So thumbs up from me. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of stepping into the unknown again here, because this marathon's going to be a championship. It's going to be a race. Doesn't matter about times. If anything, people don't even really need to be wearing their watches. It's just who can get first past the post after running 26.2 miles will be the European champion. And I think that when you look at it like that, there's obviously a lot more in play than looking at times, because when you turn up to a race like Seville, turn up and everyone's looking at what pace they need to be going at, and they're not fussed about the people around them. Whereas now, you care about the bodies that are around you. You care about where you're placing. It's obviously going to be a big thing in terms of our team placing as well. We want to get a medal as a team. I feel like we've got the team to do that. But there's obviously a lot more mental kind of preparation that needs to go into this, in terms of making sure that I can stand on the start line and compete the best I can against the guys that I'm against. So using them as a bit of a gauge, and also just figuring out things in terms of like the course and stuff. And with championship marathons, you know, we've seen it in the past, it's like can be extremely unpredictable. Like you look at someone like Julia Paternet, who ended up at world champs picking up a medal, having been ranked something like 100th or in the hundreds. It just shows that, you know, anything can happen in these races. So I'm very pleased I've got the opportunity to go out there and just kind of see what can happen. So as things stand, I'm putting everything in place to do everything I can to compete to the best of my ability on that day.
Moving pretty nicely here. So, sweet. On our way home.
Yeah, so we're just coming to our 5th week of marathon training. Things are definitely heating up. The quality, I think we've got quite a clear strategy in terms of how we're approaching this one, and our end goal for this champs is to be there in the strongest possible fitness, just being pretty relentless with it, to be honest with you. And so there's a lot has changed in terms of my easy days. There aren't really many easy days, to be honest with you, or the easy days are becoming slightly harder, and I guess I'm just becoming a bit more comfortable with being uncomfortable. But we've got a bit more specific stuff coming up this week. We've got sort of like a hardish track session tomorrow, which being Wednesday, and then we've got a long run on the Saturday, being a 22 miler. And it's just kind of, for me now, is putting in that work on tired legs. And I've said it before, like that's the one thing I learned with the marathon in my first block leading up to Seville. It's turning up, just ticking the boxes. It's never been a case of like, oh, I need to look at the watch and be really fussed about whether I can run those times or not, because again, it's just a complete different feeling when you're turning up feeling like a 6 out of 10 pretty much every single day. So as things stand, we're putting in the specific work, but we're putting it in on tired legs to become as strong as possible.
That was windy, wasn't it? Not been too windy. That was good. I think you have to, when you're doing minutes as reps, like 5 minutes, 4 minutes, you have to kill the first minute. That's what I find. And like, you've always got to try and break down these sessions to like work for your like mental warfare, so that you can like be positive, because you get any negative energy in those sorts of sessions, they become very long sessions. So I was killing the first minute of every rep, and then just trying to work my way through, and it'd like essentially make the rep feel shorter, to me anyway, mentally. And then, you know, when you're on your way home on that second set, get rid of the first couple of reps and just think positive about it. But good thing is I felt really good today, strong. I think things are clicking into place in yeah, all aspects really. I'm very happy with that, Charlie. You know, so far so good on what is probably the tastiest week of my life, to be fair. It's just hard work, and this marathon stuff's just like actually just really hard. And the thing is, I chose to do this for a living.
So we're 10 weeks now from race day, and yeah, obviously thanks for watching. If you have any ideas on things that you want to see within this block, because for me, we want to make sure that we're giving you sort of like real content around a preparation for a major championships marathon, then please do drop a comment, just let us know. And yeah, thanks for following along.